So at this moment, it started to appear in France the phenomena called turning tables. When the turning tables occur, a friend of Allan Kardec comes into his encounter and tells Hippolyte Denisard and tell him, Rivali, has this phenomenon that is happened in Paris, and the phenomenon is called turning tables. He get curious about it, and he don't believe. He's being a very curious person, and he also thinking himself, that is impossible. Tables don't talk, tables don't think, and tables don't levitate in themselves. So the first thing on his mind was, that is a trick right there, right? So his friends tell him, why don't you come and see one of these phenomena that is going on? Because it was in a spectacle that was showing to the whole society. And the tables were levitated, the tables respond to the questions that was be given to the tables. So the first thing on his mind, being a very smart person, was, this is a charlatanism. This is somebody behind that. And at this point, his name was Rivali. And they call him Rivali. And they say, well, we have been studying those phenomena, and we have here various of studies that we have been done ourselves. So has a dancing, amusements, and habituality receive when sitting by themselves and with other young companions, communications and harmony with the worldly and somewhat frivolous dispositions. But to the surprise of all concerns, was found that however he was present, the message was transmitted through these young ladies were of a very grave and serious character. So they found two young ladies. So they found during that period of time, those two young ladies that was very serious in character. And they have a message that was specific for Rivali. And in that case, it was told that it was those invisible intelligence was to the cause of that change. He was told that the spirits was much higher in order than those who habitually communicated through the two young children, mediums that came expressly for him. So those spirits want to talk for him, for Rivali. So they want to talk to him now. Was not for anybody else, was for Rivali. And would continue to do so in order to enable him to fulfill an important religion's mission. So at that point now, he say, well, I have to see those girls. I have to come to their house or to the place they were, and I have to see those girls, and I have to speak with them. So much astonished that he was unlocked for the announcement. He proceeded to the test and truthfulness by drawing by a series of progressive questions. So he wrote many questions to be given to those two mediums and asked them those questions, in particular to them for those mediums, to the various problems of human life and the universe in which we find ourselves, and submitting to them to understand the interlocutors, received their answers to the same through the instrumentally to the two young mediums, who willingly consent to devote a couple of evenings every week to this purpose, and who thus obtain it through the table rapping and planchette writing, the replies which have become the basis of the Spiritism theory, and which they were a little capable of appreciating, of inventing. So the first communication they have at that point was a little bit of a board, which they call a planchette, was something like that, and the mediums will come and write it down. So he wrote it down many questions about the universe and about the human life, and he will ask to those two young mediums, and they will write it down the questions. When this conversation was going on evenings that he would go there, had been going for nearly 2 years. So he was giving this as a science experience for him. In this case, he was studying. He was acquiring knowledge with those two mediums. And one day, remarked to his wife in reference to the unfolding of those views, which she had followed with intelligent sympathy, she mentioned, "It is a most curious thing. My conversations with invisible intelligence have completely revolutionized my ideas and convictions. The instructions thus transmitted constitute an entirely new theory of human life, duty, and destiny that appears to me to be perfectly rational and coherent, admirably lucid and consoling, and intensely interesting. I have a great mind to publish these conversations in a book, but it seems to me that what interests me so deeply might very likely prove interesting to others." His wife warmly approving the idea, he next submitting to his unseen interlocutors, who replied in the usual way that it was they who had suggested to his mind. Their communications have been made to him, not for himself alone, but for the express purpose of being given to the world, as he proposed to do, and that the time had come for putting this plan into execution. Então, uma ideia que veio, the idea that it came to his mind, they come along and say, this idea that it comes in your mind was not your idea, was an idea that we put in your mind. We have this idea even before you thought. So we put that in your mind. That didn't come for you. We are not writing out this just for you. It's for you to express this word to the whole world to see. The book, which you will embody our instructions, continue the communications intelligence. You will give as being a work rather than yours. The title of Le Livre des Spirits, the Spirit's book, and you will publish it, not under your name, but under the pseudonym of Allan Kardec. Keep your own name of Rivali for your own books already published, but take and keep the name we have now given you for the book you are about to publish by your order, and in general, for all the work that you will have to do, and the fulfillment of the mission which, as we have already told you, has been confided to you by Providence, and which will gradually open before you as you proceed under our guidance. So, the spiritual world was telling him, from now on, you no longer use the name Leon Rivali. From now on, you use the pseudonym Allan Kardec. So the spiritual world gave him a new name, Allan Kardec, which we'll learn more about this name in a little bit too.